Hello folks, and welcome to the Edge Episode 3 Part 2. Like we said, this was going to be a long episode, folks, so bear with us. This one's about 40 minutes long, but I think you'll find it very interesting anyway. In the meantime though, we're going to go straight into things. We've got a couple of reviews from Gardane from YouTube, as well as Scotch Chaos, and also Kid Dog from GUTV's audio feed. So without further ado, let's go straight into our first video.
Hello there gamers, this is Scotch Chaos here with his first video game review on YouTube. My first review is of Delphian Software's cult classic, the cinematic platformer Another World, or as you may have called it in America, Out of This World, or from Japan, Outer World. Now, it was released back in 1991 for the Amiga 500 before being ported to the 3DO, various PCs, Atari ST, Sega Mega Drive, Sega CD, and the Super Nintendo. Now, what this game is about is you play as an amazing athletic physicist by the name of Lester, who one night decides to further his particle acceleration project. Now, on the night he does this experiment, a storm happens and causes his experiment to go horribly wrong, and he gets transported to another world, hence you get the title for the game. Now, this world seemed to be completely abandoned of intelligent life until at the end of the first part of the game you're enslaved by the locals and find yourself in some sort of prison and slave labour camp. From this point on, it is your mission to escape captivity along with an alien companion who assists you at various points throughout the game. To achieve your goals in the world, you have to do the basics of a platforming game. These are running and jumping. Now, a little bit further into the game, you pick up a gun which serves as your item of attack and defense. It can shoot regular laser blasts, which is for killing your enemies. It can form a shield, which is for protecting you from your enemies. Or you can charge up a shot, which can break shields and break walls and doors. At various points of the game, your gun will serve as a key to a puzzle. For example, there is a part where you have to use a charged shot to flood an underground cave. There are some points in the game that require you to do something different from platforming, such as when you have to roll through some ventilation shafts while avoiding steam and swimming away from a giant tentacled monster. Not at the same time, of course, because that would just be silly. As with most games, the D-pad will control your character. Up at lifts will make him go up, down at lifts will make him go down, left and right will move him left and right. As you can see, it is very simple. Depending on what platform you're playing on this, you could either have 1 or 2 additional buttons. Let's say you have 2 for the moment. You'll have a jump button, which will oddly enough make him jump, and an action button, which will do everything else, from shooting to picking up items. If you only have 1 extra button, then the jump button is moved into the action button, thus giving you the action jump button. Now we've passed the most simple aspect of the game, let's move on to something a little bit more advanced, the graphics. Now the character models, although not pretty to look at, move amazingly fluid, especially for a game that was made in 1991. I think it is worth noting that the backgrounds that were hand-drawn, despite being barren, gave the game its unique feel. The clip scenes that you see in the game were untouchable at the time. I don't think there was another game that could have produced such quality cinematic entertainment on a home console or your PC. The only downside I can say about the graphical design is once you start fighting aliens, there isn't much variation between who you're fighting. I think, if I remember right, it only varies between regular ones and ones with helmets. Another world was designed by, forgive me if I get this wrong, Eric Chahi. After seeing Dragon's Lair run amazingly well on an Amiga 500 back in 1989, Chahi decided to make an action game with exactly the same technology in mind on his Amiga 500. In an attempt to create the best graphics ever, Another World's visuals were created entirely using polygons. It took its lead from another Amiga game called Impossible Mission. Although he knew what he wanted, Chahi improvised for most of the game. It took him 4 months alone to create the opening sequence, and after 2 years of hard work, Another World was ready for release. Another World, before being released, came under heavy criticism for being too short. Therefore, the PC versions had extra content added, while the console versions were made to be more difficult. The Super Nintendo version came under heavy editing to fall in with Nintendo's family guidelines. Anything that looked like blood or any nudity had to be edited out. 1994's Heart of the Alien is the only true sequel to Another World. It was released for the Sega CD. Most people say that this game is equally as good as Another World. However, since it was a Sega CD exclusive, it did not sell well and has generally gone unplayed. Another World's creator, Eric Chahi, has disdain for this game because it destroys the ambiguous ending left at the end of Another World. Games that have used Another World for a template have been the 1992 Delphine software game Flashback, 1997's One Escapee, and 1998's Amazing Studios' Heart of Darkness, the latter created by Another World's creator, Eric Chahi. Moby Games have rated Another World as the best DOS game ever released. In recent times, Chahi bought the intellectual rights to the game, preventing it becoming abandonware. In 2005, a collector's edition was released, including all the extra features seen in the different versions of the game. One of the bad points about this game is that it is unbelievably hard. You get shot once and you die. Due to this, you end up playing a certain part of the game over and over again until completed. In the console versions this is even worse. Since it has been made harder, more enemies and traps flood the screen, which means you repeat it over and over and over and over, even more so. Another World's controls aren't too elegant, and it can take Lester a while to respond to what you're telling him to do. This leads to you dying a whole lot more than what you may want. As mentioned earlier, most of the aliens look the same. This even includes your alien companion and the evil aliens. Therefore, you could end up shooting at your alien companion. Although it does not do him any damage, it can leave you open to attack from the evil aliens. Guess what? You die some more. For those of you who do not die on a regular occasion, Another World can be completed in less than half an hour. This can give you an unsatisfactory feeling once the game is completed. Despite Lester's non-responsive start to the controls given to him, once he is moving, the moves can flow together very well, leading to some very nice set pieces throughout the game. Background detail is amazing in this game and can vary from something as little as falling rocks to a giant laser battle. You have to see it to believe it. As mentioned earlier, the cutscenes in this game are amazing. Even if you cannot progress in this game, it is worth just buying the game for the opening cutscene. Lastly, there are many checkpoints in this game. It makes a hard game less frustrating. If they weren't there, I'd take a good bet that the game would be uncompletable. Overall, I would say Another World is not a masterpiece, but it is definitely a landmark in gaming history. I give Another World 8 out of 10. This brings us to the end of the review. If you want to play Another World, you can buy it from the official Another World website and get the collector's edition. I hope you have found this review useful in some way. If you want to contact me to request a review or ask me a question, please use the email on screen now. The next time I will be back, I will be reviewing Galaga 90 that originally appeared on TurboGrafx 16. Good night.
Lou, I've got some apples. Lou, you've got some too. Lou, let's get together. I know what we can do.
Are you Becker? My name's Redwood. Why, how the hell did I get through this shithole? The forward observer for 30 Corps is moving to our position. So we'll have tank support.
Hello everybody, my wife here with the second part of the Edge's score review, where we're covering the tribal civilization and the space stages. Now, as I said in the first game, part of this review, on episode 2, the game itself for the first couple of levels with the creature stage and the sporal stage is pretty simplistic. You can complete it within an hour or so, depending on how you play it, maybe longer if you're going a bit more piecemeal and stuff. But the game does actually pick up once you actually get into the tribal stage, because at this point it becomes very much like old classics like Populous mixed in with elements of Command and Conquer and Dungeon Siege and a few other games like that along those lines. Basically what you do with it is you have to establish yourself either as a dominant tribe amongst all the other civilizations out there. There are about 6 or 7 tribes that you've got to actually compete with, and eventually, once you've actually built up either the diplomacy or the actual conquering of the other tribes, leads you to what is then civilization, because you have, through your tribe, established yourself as a civilization, in which case you move on to the Civ stage, which is very much a case, very much a case of similar to Age of Empires, but with more 3D elements thrown in there. You can build your ships, you can build your vehicles, and the whole idea of the civilization stage is basically global domination. You take your civilization, it's now your tribe, your race of people that are the most dominant on the planet, and you're now competing against other nations instead of other creatures this time, and other races and tribes, and etc., for domination of the planet to unify it, bring it into a single whole. Many elements of the Civ stage that are actually useful. You can go as either a militaristic, where you're intent on battling the crap out of everybody, or you can go as more of a religious state, where you try and convert them and use more diplomacy or the word of God, or whatever the hell you want to call it, yeah. But basically, the whole concept of the Civ stage is to dominate the planet. Many assets to this one, and you could be playing this particular stage for hours. For absolutely hours, depending on what you, or days at some point, where you're actually trying to figure out how you want to do this, how you want to progress, because obviously, as with all the other stages, it does lead into the final stage, which is the space stage. Now, for all intents and purposes, the space stage is, for lack of a better definition, one giant sandbox. you've dominated the whole planet, and you've researched technology. Well, you haven't researched technology. That was actually cut out of the beta stage, folks. But there was a stage between civilization and the space stage where you could actually research stuff, research technology. I think it was in the term the technology stage or something like that, where you actually figure out all that, but it was cut out. But like I said in part 1, expect a load of stuff to be done with downloadable content, where you'll probably find a hell of a lot of stuff added to this game. Anyway. But with the space stage, the idea is basically you're now out there in the universe with your starship, conquering or forming alliances to explore the galaxy. Along the way, there is a kind of, this is where the main story plot is, because somewhere in the middle of the galaxy there's something called the Groks, and the whole purpose of the single-player game is to go and find the Groks, which is kind of impossible when you get close to the center of the galaxy, because gravity increases, which is a real pain in the ass. So you can't travel as far, but you have to research other things, trade with other nations, blow the crap out of them, and it all directly affects diplomacy and how these other races on these other planets interact with you. So some races are going to be very hostile, some are going to be very very cooperative, etc. On the whole, not bad. You could spend days with this, but after a while it gets samey. I've got to say this about the space stage. After a short while, because of all the elements that were cut out, like the fact you can only have one ship of your own fleet, if you're a global dominating conquering empire, for example, but not, that doesn't believe in the word of peace and stuff like that, you're kind of screwed, because you can't use your own ships to just go and conquer everybody. You have to form alliances and trade. Many facets of the game actually are included, such as commerce and stuff like that. It's very similar to Civilization in many, many ways. But Alpha Centauri actually springs to mind when I actually look at the Spore space stage. On the whole, as a complete game, Spore is pretty good. As the individual stages, though, go, I would not give it a very high rating, because it's basically all the best elements of all different games thrown into one big box. And a lot of other games do it better on a more grander scale. Anyhow, this has been Mindwipe with the Spore review. Till next time, folks, take it easy.
Starfleet operations. Enterprise is clear for departure.
Admiral on the bridge.
Pre-stage flux chiller port.
On.
Pre-stage flux chiller starboard.
On.
Main stage flux chiller port.
Enable.
Running lights
Main
on.
stage flux chiller starboard.
By order of Starfleet Command, as of now, 1800 hours. I'm assuming command of this vessel. Duty officer sewn up in ship's log. Plot a new course for Space Laboratory regular law. Engine. But Scott.
Aye, sir.
We'll be going to warp speed.
Aye, sir.
Course plotted for regular one. Engage warp engines.
Prepare for warp speed.
Ready, sir. Warp 5. So much for the trading crews.
He tests me, and I shall have him. I'll chase him round the moons of Namibia and round the Antares maelstrom and round perdition's flames before I give him up. Prepare to alter course.
Ah, Kirk, my old friend.
Do you know the Klingon proverb that tells us revenge is a dish that is best served cold? It is very cold in space.
They still haven't raised their shields.
Raise ours.
Their shields are going up.
Lock phasers on target.
Locking phasers on target.
They're locking phasers.
Raise shields.
Fire!
Here's a game, one of the first games of its kind, I have to say, called Poker Sam. It's a talking poker game. I haven't seen too many games like this at the time, and my dad played this game more than I did, seeing as I didn't know how to play poker when I was 6. Let's play poker. It's like playing with Stephen Hawking. You know what I mean? Yeah, it probably wasn't so funny. But anyway, you can make out the voices pretty well in this game. It's not so bad, you know. It's really, you know, budget, but what can you expect from Atari? So, but yeah, I didn't see too many games like this. One of the first free ones on Atari. I can't think of any other ones right now, but this game was very basic. I mean, you really couldn't do too much with it. I mean, there's no settings you can change. It just plays 3 rounds and then it starts over again. Prick. There's a lot of one-liners in here that are worse than Arnold Schwarzenegger's. Like, what does that mean? I used to work on a riverboat? What the hell does that mean? What am I missing here? But... And 10 seconds later, I beat his ass. Uh-oh. Watch out, Buster. Oh, man. This whole skit is just me catching his one-liners and then ending it. Oh, clever. See, I wasn't even trying here. I mean, I guess really can't try with poker. It's just luck of the draw, especially for Atari, but I think I just had one with a high card, I think. I can't tell, I'm looking at small screen. Yeah, no thanks, I'm done with this game. Now, this game is a pain in the ass. I mean, I remember as a kid, I don't know why I had any fun with these games as a kid. Yeah, I showed that guy's face because to show you the game is more irritating than that guy. Anyway, that video was awesome. So basically, you're the brother of a doctor who can't see. I think it's because he's holding stuff in front of his face, but I just say he's blind. But in order to lead him around this map, you have to whistle at him for him to follow you, which doesn't always work so well. But the whole objective is to lead him from the start to the ending, whether getting him killed or getting yourself killed. Now this is supposed to be a pier, which is the most poorly built pier in the world. It's like designed for murder. So there's many obstacles come along your way, like gaps in the ground, which you have to fix if you get the proper tools. And in order to fix it, when you get the tools, you turn to a tornado, which can somehow fix these gaps. I don't know how turning a tornado, I don't know how it makes any difference. But anyway, there's little things you can pick up along the way, too, that gives you points. And see what I mean here? Look, he's totally friggin' ignoring me. What the hell are you doing? Come on, I'm whistling at you. Get the hell up here. I'm up here, dickhead. Like, eventually learn later on that you have to be climbing at the same time and whistling for him to understand to climb the ladder too. Well, in most cases anyway, sometimes I'll do it, but half the time you're just trying to whistle at this dick, trying to get him up the ladder. Come on! I can't tell you how irritated I was while I was playing this. I don't remember being as irritated as a kid, but... Well, I would say I had more patience as a kid, but I really don't think I did. See, look at that. What the hell is he doing? Having a stroke? Yeah, if you try to leave the screen without him, it does that. And that's totally inaccurate. Why the hell did I just die there? What was I crushed? Was that water had the pressure of Niagara Falls, or what? Like, I completely get compressed. My body gets sucked into my hat. Oh, anyway. It's just pretty much me trying to get this guy to get the hell up here so I can get him to the end so I can go to the next level. Now, this level isn't so bad. It's pretty straightforward. There's nothing to stop you except, you know, just... Oh my god. See what I mean? Now, Jerry trying to go... Where's he going? Come on. Come on, hurry up. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Up here. No, no. Up here. No. No. Up here. Yeah, no. Oh, my god. See, this is what I was pretty much saying out loud as I was playing the game. No, 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 no. Up here. There you go. See? Now he goes back down again. Like, I know he must be blind or something, but why is he retarded? Like, just because you're blind, that guarantees you're a retard, or what? Like, who does this? Plus, how can he climb a ladder without stuff in his hands? Like, really, why is he running around frantically like that, too? What's wrong with him?
Almost there.
Like the Star Wars ad, almost there. This guy's crashing to the Death Star in the end. Hey, I beat the first board, now have a look at the second board. It's fucking 10 times worse. I mean, yeah, I can't even proceed to the next screen, like, to see what happens next, because, watch, you'll just see what I mean, watch this. Okay, I was confused, what is that? Oh, it's an arrow after I get hit, I realize that, because I'm stupid. But okay, well, maybe it's just a one-time thing, you think, right? No, it happens like every friggin' 2 seconds. Now, how am I supposed to tell him to not run into that? Like, there's no chance there. I'm guaranteed death. Like, how irritating is that? And like, it keeps happening, too. Like, every time you take a second to stand still to get this idiot to hurry up and follow you, here comes another arrow, you know? And you can't fall, no, not one bit. You plummet to your death if you walk off the edge anywhere. So forget this. Screw this guy. He can wander aimlessly for all eternity for all I care. I'm done. And here's another game called Rally Speedway. The unique thing with this game is you can make your own racetracks any which way you want. But you won't see that here. Instead, you'll see the insanity of how fast you go when you can't control yourself whatsoever unless you're, like, super pro. Like look at this. Watch. Okay, like, I go out of control. I bush. Look, a bush. I ran into a bush and my car ignites into flames. Nothing left of it but flames. Like, what? We're the most delicate car in the world, or what? Look at that. Just nothing but a heap of fire. And there's my guy rolling on fire. And it looks like a worm there. Pretty pissed off, I guess, at cursing his car for what he did. Anyway, this whole game is, you're going to see just me crashing into every fucking thing because I can't control it. It's way too fast. You did see in the menu I could pick different speeds, but it's not much different, trust me. If you pick the slowest speed, you're going way too slow, and you're like, come on, Grandma. But this is way too fast. What's the point of having a speed this fast if you can't even control it? It must be riding the brakes the whole time. Kind of like real life. But anyway, yeah, this game is kind of neat, but at the same time really friggin' repetitively stupid, if that's a word. So yeah, I didn't play this game very long before I gave up, because it just kept crashing to every... I mean, imagine real life were like this? Oh, it is. See, like, why do they blow up? They didn't hit each other that hard. This car here, I mean, there's no explosives or anything in this car, it just kind of, you know, to this, and for no reason whatsoever, blew up. Super explosion. So what do we learn from all this in the end? Don't fly into asteroids. Don't touch walls. Don't touch things that kill you. Don't jump in your pajamas. Don't attack the Death Star by yourself. Klingons don't like you.
I am
That's
Nomad.
Right. Don't kiss werewolves. Spiders aren't supposed to be bigger than you. Jumping into the ceiling will kill you. This does not happen. Stephen Hawking would kick your ass if it were. Whistling does nothing for the blind people. Don't have a blind brother. Again, this car is possessed by Satan. And most importantly, don't play bad games or you'll end up like this guy. That's it. It's intense. And see you later, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll make shorter episodes next time.
Do you believe in monsters? Or the thing that lives under your bed? Do you believe nightmares are real? Are you afraid?
tale stuff always scares the crap out of me.
Most urban legends are based on fact.
Tell me about it.
Hey, what's happening, Edge viewers? This is Kid Dog from Gaming Unlimited's audio podcast, here to talk to you about Rock Band. Now, I thought it was kind of appropriate to talk about Rock Band, seeing as last Friday we saw the release of Rock Band onto the PS3, PS2, and the Nintendo Wii. Now, owners of the Xbox 360 have had access to this game for a while, but for those of you that haven't and are wanting to take a look at this game, I thought I'd give you a brief overview and tell you a little bit about it. Now, if you're familiar at all with this Guitar Hero series of games, you're going to be pretty familiar with the sort of basic mechanics of this game. In essence, it is a rhythm action game where you have coloured notes coming down from the top of the screen and you have to hit them in time, basically, with the music. Sounds all pretty simple. Now, what makes Rock Band different from Guitar Hero, and also more expensive if you go for the full package of Rock Band, is the simple fact that not only are you getting basically a Guitar Hero style game where you can play the guitar to the songs, you're also getting a SingStar type of game because you're able to do the singing part and drums as well. Now this is quite good, especially if on the Xbox 360 or the PS3 you have access to the Rock Band store, so you can download extra songs to keep the life of the game going. Now also, if you do have the full bundle, which comes with the microphone, the drums and the guitar, you're going to have a lot to go through and it's going to keep you occupied for quite some time. And also, if you have friends around on a regular basis, this is an absolute great party game. Not so good if you've had a bit too much to drink, because you're going to need to be coordinated to survive. Alright, now, as you know, the Xbox 360 has had this for a while. It's now just been released onto the PS3, which is also going to have the Rock Band DLC store to, purchase extra tracks. Unfortunately, there is no online and DLC available for the PS2 and the Nintendo Wii. But you can expand your music library by picking up extra discs of Rock Band songs that will be available for about, I think it's about £25. Now, that's pretty good. The core song list, I think, for the Wii and the PS2 has been cut down somewhat. Now, it's a bit of a shame, but them's the breaks, unfortunately. There's essentially two modes of gameplay now to take you through. First off is the solo tour. Now, if you haven't got anyone to play with, or you just want to play on your own for a bit, there's the solo tour, which, you'll pick your instrument, whether it be the vocals, the guitar, or the drums, and play through a set list to the end. As in Guitar Hero, the further you get, the more songs you unlock to play in just quick play mode. Obviously, quick play mode is still in there for you to choose, but the amount of songs will vary depending on how far you've got through solo mode. Now, the big mode here in this game is the Band World Tour mode, where you and your friends can hook up and start a band. You just need 2 people, but if you're on the full thing, you can have 4. So you'll have the ability to have guitar, bass, singer, and drums. With Band World Tour mode, the amount of success you have in a song, whether you 3, 4, 5 star the song or even fail the song, is how you progress. You'll need to get more fans, get more fame, get roadies, and so on and so forth, unlock vehicles to carry on, to get more venues, play more songs. It's a great mode if you have the people to play it with. Obviously, you'll do fine with 2, but it's best to be played with 4, because it's more a party atmosphere, and you'll keep coming back for more, and it's very enjoyable. Now, the trouble with Band World Tour mode is you're going to have to be fairly confident with the skill level you can pick, because there's easy, medium, hard, and expert. Now, you're able to pick your own individual skill levels for each song. Unlike in Solo Tour, where the songs are arranged in difficulty order, in Band World Tour you could be playing a very difficult song quite early on, so you have to be fairly comfortable with your own skill level. Now, like the Guitar Hero series, you'll also see glowing notes, which in this game is called Overdrive, and unlike Guitar Hero's Star Power, if you collect Overdrive and go into Overdrive mode, notes will still appear to keep your overdrive going, so in essence you can keep it running. Obviously, if you fail a song, it's game over. The crowd meter's still there, so green good, yellow, panic, red, you're in serious danger and you will fail the song. Now, depending on your skill level, again, you may not fail many songs, but I do like the fact that, unlike Guitar Hero 3's Legends of Rock, huge number of buttons to hit, this one feels more in tune to you actually playing the song themselves, and the scaling up between the levels is fairly well set out. You can start out on easy, and by the time you have done all the way through easy, you should be able to start in medium and work your way through medium, and at the end of medium you can progress on up to hard. Bear in mind, when you're hitting hard, your talents will have to have improved somewhat. You're going to have to be able to handle fast-paced notes, hammer-ons, and pull-offs. Now, it takes a bit of practice, but once you put the effort in, it's well worth. And I have to say, when you can finally master some of the songs on hard, you get a real sense of pride that you actually have done this. It's a real sense of achievement. Now, is Rock Band worth your money? Well, that is the question. Rock Band on its own is relatively a cheap game, because most people might have lying around a Guitar Hero controller, which is usually compatible with the game. But the trouble with this is, this game really comes into its own if you have the full instrument pack. Myself, I started out just having the soloist version of this game and using a Guitar Hero 2 controller to play through the game, and to me it just felt like another Guitar Hero game. Now recently I have picked up the drum kit for this game. It's added a whole new lease of life and has got me playing the game again just to experience the songs from a different point of view and a different play order for the drums, because songs are set out differently for different instruments. The simple fact is, if you have friends over a lot and you like the Guitar Hero series games and you want to try something new, this is a game well worth having, but it isn't cheap. It is going to cost you well over £100. That is very expensive for a video game, and I will be the first to admit it's a bit ludicrous. If you have plenty of friends that come over on a regular basis, it's definitely worth one you checking out. Yes, I'm well aware that Rock Band 2 has been announced and will be hitting very soon in the United States. Unfortunately, like the original Rock Band release here in Europe, we're pretty much not being told when we're going to get it, so it could be a long wait in between Rock Band 1 and 2. Most likely we'll see a similar release schedule for Rock Band 2 as we did with Rock Band, so expect Rock Band 2 to probably hit the Xbox 360 first, so it's still worth an investment in the original Rock Band. Also, from what I've read, you will still be able to use your original Rock Band instruments with Rock Band 2, which is kind of a bonus when you've dropped that much cash on them. They're going to have a few little less tricks to them, but I think it's a bit ridiculous being asked to pay another £100 a few months down the line for more instruments. Anyway folks, this has been Kid Dog giving you a brief rundown of Rock Band. Like I said, if you're going to have people over and want to jam to some classic tunes, there's some great songs in there to play, that's well worth your investment. Bit on the pricey side, but a fun game nevertheless. It's definitely a party game. But remember folks, if you're going to have a party and try to play this game, stay off the alcohol. Coordination is kind of key, especially on those drums. Alright folks, this is Kid Dog and I'm saying, till next time, rock out!
Well, that's pretty much it for the Edge Episode 3, both parts of it. I hope you've enjoyed this week's little shindig. That's the best way I can describe it. If you want to leave any feedback, or actually submit a video link, or even submit an audio MP3 for entry into the Edge for one of the actual episodes, be sure to send it to the email address that is currently displayed at the bottom of the screen, as well as visiting www.gamingunlimited.tv. For the simple reason you'll find God knows how much stuff there, as well as our audio podcast, which is hosted by Kid Dog and Spy 101 each and every week. So, I'm going to leave you with this last, as I always do, I'm going to leave you with this last piece of video footage. This is Mac or PC. Who will win? Oh, and by the way, before I do go, pay close attention to the Bill Gates impersonator here. He doesn't half look like Crash from the Games Garage. Till next time, folks, this has been Mindwipe. See you all later.
Ooh, Mac or PC. Ooh, Mac or PC. Ooh, Mac or PC.
I'm a right clicker.
I'm an iBook flipper. Macs and PCs, no fight gets bigger. Surf Safari
or browse in IE.
Better know what you rep, a Mac or PC.
USB 1.2.0. Son, you don't know. Watch my data flow. From MS-DOS, command line prompts, black backgrounds, no special sauce.
Well, I've only been around since '84, but my ease of use has done so much more. From a plus to a classic to a 2GS to a power PC, my OS is the best. So clickable, design is lickable. My Aqua interface makes XP despicable.
Quick, I pull the RAM stick out the slot, and I swap it with generic cause the port is hot.
If you see life through an LCD, then know your brand is it Mac or PC.
I'm a right clicker.
I'm an iBook flipper. Macs and PCs, no fight gets bigger. Surf Safari
or browse in IE.
Better know what you rep, a Mac or PC.
Take a look at Vista, enjoy the view. I suggest premium or the ultimate SKU. Cop a Dell with the graphics card super fast. Turn the arrow on and lick the glass.
Tiger's fast as hell, but Leopard's got the boom. Time Machine is mad mean. You're absurd, what's a zoom? Middle name, innovate. All features integrate. They'll stay the hell out of my developers conferences.
Nonsense is I'm networking. You're not working. Quit staring at your built-in webcam. YouTube surfing.
Ha! 1,000 views is pretty fresh. Computer Gal 36 even says I'm the best.
He is the best with his videos, and does them all on a Final Cut Pro. Yeah.
I'm a right clicker.
I'm an iBook flipper. Macs and PCs, no fight gets bigger. Surf Safari
or browse in IE.
Better know what you rep, a Mac or PC. When I run, it's an iPod. Talk, it's an iPhone. Stuff I gotta have no matter what, it's an iLoan. I want an Intel plus CS3, but for now I'm streaming keynotes in my bed listening to Steve.
Compatibility. Everybody fits with me. All the applications wanna get with my virility. And anytime, yo, it might go off. And you can ride it till it's Microsoft.
Pay attention, I got a new invention. Steal your next idea at the Macworld convention. But guess what, you'll always be behind. Cause Mac is a state of mind.
I'm a right clicker.
I'm an iBook flipper. Macs and PCs, no fight gets bigger. Surf Safari
or browse in IE.
Better know what you rep, a Mac or PC.